Dear learners, we will do a new module, module 110. It is about types of assessment. You know what you mean by assessment. Whatever income you earn, we have to assess our income and we have to pay the tax. So it's divided into two parts. The reason being, there are 8 types of assessment. So first 4 types of assessment I have included in part 1, and the next module will be part 2. There I will be explaining the remaining 4 modules. So we will start with the meaning of assessment. Assessment means determining the taxable income and tax liability. As I always tell, two things are certain in our life. One is death and second is tax payment. And as honest and responsible citizens of the country, it is our duty to pay the tax due to the government. Because they are using that for developmental activities, paying pension, everything. So we have to, if you are earning income, we have to assess the income at the end of the year and we have to pay the tax liability. Sometimes advance tax also we have to pay. That we will come to that one by one. So the income tax department verifies whether the correct tax is paid. After we submit our returns, they will verify whether we have paid the correct tax returns. So as I told you, there are 8 types of assessment. First I will list the 8 types of assessment and first 4 we will explain in this module. First one, self-assessment. Second, summary assessment. Third, scrutiny assessment. Fourth, best judgment assessment. Fifth, income escaping assessment or reassessment. Sixth, faceless assessment. Seventh, protective assessment. And eighth, regular assessment. So first we will start with self-assessment. Section 140A. 90% of the taxpayers will do this. So self-assessment is done by the taxpayers themselves. Tax is calculated and paid voluntarily before filing the returns. Usually July 31st is the deadline for filing the tax returns for individuals. Exceptional cases they will extend. See, for example, COVID time, they extended up to August 31st. Like that, if government is not extended the time, we have to file our tax returns. So if you are not able to do by yourself, you can give it a qualified chartered accountant. They will file the tax returns. Now, it encourages self-assessment. Tax is calculated and paid voluntarily before filing the return. This encourages voluntary tax compliance. Now, what is the procedure for self-assessment? This is given. Self-assessment is explained under section 140A. So sections are important because this usually they ask as an essay question. What is the procedure? Procedure is compute the total income. See, if I am getting income from salary, other sources, business or profession, capital gain, my total income I have to calculate. Then I have to calculate my tax liability. Deduct TDS and advance tax. If I am getting salary, my employer would have deducted tax and they would have deposited the tax. So advance tax also I might have paid. So all this I have to consider, and what I have to do, pay the balance tax and file the tax returns. Now what are the advantages? This will save time, encourages honesty, simplifies tax administration. Because it will help the government to collect the tax from everybody. Now what second type we are coming to? So second type of assessment is summary assessment. This is given under section 143 subsection 1. So summary assessment is a preliminary computerized assessment of returns. No detailed enquiry is conducted. Say for example, when I am filing the tax returns, I have to go through the summary assessment. I will not come across this, but the income tax department will be doing. Based on the information I have submitted, they will check my returns and the details I have provided. Whether I have paid the correct tax, everything is calculated. They will verify that. So what are the features? Done automatically by computer systems. Since we are filing tax returns online, it's computerized and computer, they will check that whether the correct tax is calculated and paid. Correct errors and wrong claims. Sometimes if I have asked for a deduction which I am not eligible, which I have not provided the document, then they will ask me to submit the document. No personal appearance required. I need not go to the income tax department for that. Then what are the adjustments made? Correction of calculation of errors. So if any error is done, they have to correct it. Now adjustment of incorrect claims, deductions, exemptions, anything. Disallowance of late loss claims and unsupported deductions. If I have not paid my medical claim on time, if I have not renewed on time, I am not eligible to ask for that exemption. So all this they will check with the proper document supporting documents I have provided along with my returns. Now what is the outcome? Return is accepted if it's correct, and if refund is issued. If I have to get some refund is issued, and additional tax is demanded if I have not paid the correct tax. Now what are the advantages? It's fast and simple. It reduces the workload of the CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, and the officials and the system involved in that. Quick refund processing. Our late Finance Minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, he had a dream. When the tax returns are filed, within 1 day, they have to give the refund. He was working on that. Now he's not alive, but still CBDT is trying to give the refund at the earliest possible. So more taxpayers will be encouraged to file the tax returns. So what is the example of summary assessment? System automatically corrects calculation mistakes in returns. Now the third type of assessment, scrutiny assessment. This is given under section 143 subsection 3. Scrutiny assessment is a detailed examination of the return filed by the assessee. They will check in detail. The purpose is to verify the income and claims. See, I have not reported the capital gain. So they got the information that I have, because everything is automatic now, everything is online. We are providing our Aadhaar card, PAN card, everything. So it's easy for the tax department to verify our transactions for the year. Or any time of the year we will do any transaction, it's easy for them to verify that if I am getting any foreign income, anything like that, if I have not reported. So detect tax evasion. This, when they doubt tax evasion, they will go for scrutiny assessment. Now the features, they will go for a detailed investigation. Notice is issued to the assessee and accounts and documents are examined. Now what is the procedure? Notice is issued under section 143 subsection 2. This is very important. See, we are talking about scrutiny assessment. Section is 143 subsection 3. Notice is issued under section 143 subsection 2. Now assessee submits the documents. Whatever they are asked for, additional documents or clarification, assessee will submit that. Assessing officer examines records and final order is passed. So there is a re-verification. Now advantages. What are the advantages of scrutiny assessment? Detects hidden income, ensures fair tax collection. Now there are disadvantages also. It is time consuming, it increases compliance burden. See, if I have not done my tax filing or filing the returns properly, I have to go through scrutiny assessment. This will increase the tax compliance burden. Sometimes I have to pay fine, penalty, all that. Now what is the example for scrutiny assessment? Large deduction claims may lead to a scrutiny assessment. I am claiming so many deductions. Now as per the new system, deductions are not there. But if I am following the old scheme, then many deductions I am claiming without proper document. Then I have to go through scrutiny assessment. Now fourth is best judgment assessment. This is given under section 144. See, you have to remember, sometimes the question will be explain section 144. So it's very important, wherever I have mentioned sections, you have to remember that best judgment assessment is explained under section 144. So best judgment assessment is made by the assessing officer when the assessee fails to comply with the legal requirements. A notice is issued, he has not replied. He is asked to come to the Income Tax Department and first meet the officials concerned. He has not complied with. So circumstances, failure to file a return. Assessee has not filed a return. Failure to comply with the notices issued by the Income Tax Department. Failure to produce documents asked by the Income Tax Department. Non-cooperation during assessment. Even if he is giving some documents, he is not giving all the documents. All this can go to best judgment assessment. Now what are the features? Based on available information, then the assessing officer will take a decision. You have to remember that in this type of assessment, assessee is not cooperating with the income tax officials. He is not complying with the notices. Then the assessing officer, based on his calculation, based on his available information, he will make a judgment. That is why it's called best judgment assessment. So made using the officer's judgment, his personal judgment. Sometimes it may be correct, sometimes it may not be correct. Applied in non-cooperation cases. You have to remember, when assessee is not cooperating with the Income Tax Department, then only they will go for this best judgment assessment. Now the principles you have to remember, you have to be honest, you have to be fair, and you have to be reasonable. So when you are filing tax returns, these three characteristics are important, and it's always to be in the good books of income tax officers, because it's not easy to cheat or to evade tax. You have to face the consequences. Now, what are the advantages of best judgment assessment? It prevents tax evasion, ensures assessment without cooperation. So, if assessee is not cooperating, assessing officer will make his judgment, you have to pay that amount. Now, disadvantages, chance of estimation errors. Assessing officer is using his personal judgment. Sometimes it may be wrong, sometimes it may not be wrong. So, that disadvantage is there and may lead to disputes with the assessee and the tax officials. Now, example, income may be estimated if income notices are ignored by the assessee. So, this is what I wanted to explain in this module. Happy learning. Thank you.